Hey, I don't know why the fuck I invited this guy in this VC. He joined immediately. He got back and immediately was like, "Hey, what's up? It's that pretty boy Cam still to test the level."
Nah. So this motherfucker just wants to end my life for no reason because he told me to say some shit. So I said
I
some
told
shit.
you.
Simple as that.
You saying you need to fix what you're saying, bro. I'm sorry.
No,
You
no,
got
no,
you got to
no,
start speaking better.
No, you don't know. You don't know. He don't know.
I don't know you. Okay, my fault. All right, so here's what we're doing today. So we got, of course, 2022 just ended. Me and Kumsil, you know, we're both very experienced music listeners, right? So I have this whole, you can see on screen, I got a few already, right? I got a few albums that I put on here already. That's because I kind of started, and then Cam was like, you should record this, and I was like, all right, I'll record it. So now we're here. But yeah, so we're about to go through every single album that I listened to, and probably that Cam listened to as well. And
I think I listened to a few more than I did, and I might have some shit I want to contribute at the end. But
so do you want to just go? You want to just go through my shit, and we'll figure it out.
we'll go through yours, and then at the end, if there's anything that I want to mention, I'll mention it.
You got it, bro. You got it. All right.
I feel like the shit I'll want to mention you won't know about though, because it's all my like hyperpop shit.
Hyperpop. Oh my lord, what the fuck?
Okay. Yeah, my fault, bro.
We don't like that very much. All right. So anyway, the next album on my list is it's Die for My Bitch. I listened to Baby Keem's other album this year.
Yeah, I actually didn't listen to this until this year too.
It was like, you know, I'd put it at a solid like below Melodic Blue, but like
It's not as good.
Not as good. But like I'm gonna put a few more albums between these two, but it's definitely better than these motherfuckers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I have
do we want to like roll back and say anything about those other shit?
Oh,
I feel like they mostly speak for
sure,
themselves.
yeah, we can. Yeah, they do mostly speak for themselves. Though I will say, Earl's album was way better on a second listen for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I really liked Earl's album. I switched from Spotify to YouTube back to Spotify recently, and so I went back to the No Worries project recently too.
Yeah,
and I was really fucking with that. Anyway, my next
album. The main thing I wanted to stop and talk about was Bird's Eye View, just cause like.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
There's shit to say about that.
Mm-hmm. So we mentioned this before we started recording, but I think the big thing with that album is coming off Lost Boy and all the YBN shit, right? Corday had so much fucking potential. And then he drops Bird's Eye View, which is basically just like Lost Boy 2, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was nearly as good as Lost Boy, first of all. And there were a couple of songs on there, like that one with the... I mean, actually, no, nothing really, like, bothered me on this album. It was just, like, not...
No, it was mostly, like, inoffensive. I think there were, like, 2 or 3 standouts I can think of.
The one with Dirk was really good. I like the one with Dirk.
I was okay with I'm not huge on Dirk in general, but
I like
that track was alright. The track with Gibbs was good.
Yeah.
Track with Wayne was good.
Oh, I remembered the track I didn't like. It was the track with Eminem.
Yeah.
That's the one I didn't like.
Shocker.
Yeah. No.
Wait, yo, are we gonna have to talk about Eminem? Did Eminem drop this year?
I don't know. I don't fucking care.
Wasn't like Music to Be Murdered by Part 2 this year?
How about you look that up? Because I don't want to.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Okay. So I listened. So we're gonna get to another fucking. We're gonna get to some weird shit soon. But my next album is I listened through Angelic Hood Rap by Kenny Mason at the beginning of this year, just because I was on like a Kenny Mason kick for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good. I'd put it like here, I'd say. But though I will say I don't really like his whole I don't know. I feel like the metal shit that he does is like it's okay sometimes, but it's like kind of weird, I think, you know?
I mean, I super fuck with the metal shit.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's just me really liking metal though.
You got it. So next up, this is a bit of a funny one. I got recommended this album by somebody I don't normally get album recommendations from, but this is kind of the beginning of my bullshit kick this year, right? So I listened through this one. Cam, you have to promise not to make fun of me for this one, okay?
You got it.
Yeah, if I hear you start giggling, I'm gonna tell you to get serious. So I listened through a Jimmy Eat World album off Max's recommendation.
I'm not gonna make fun of you for that. That's fine.
Okay, and it was like okay. It was all right.
Yeah.
There's a couple songs on there that I really fuck with, but the rest of it was just like, nah. Where do I'd probably put it like here.
I guess so.
All right, next up, Tyron by Slow Tie. That's a great album.
This album's fucking amazing, dude.
This album goes like
Slow Tie is
here.
awesome.
This album goes like there. Yeah, Tyron was fucking great. Yeah.
Slow Tie. Where did I think I first heard him off the fucking the Amine feature.
Oh,
in, like,
yeah. No, oh, on Pressure in My Palms? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that feature came on. I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, no, he's
And I
hard
went
as
and started
shit.
listening to his shit. He's so good.
He's so good. You know where I first heard him?
Yeah.
So you probably know this. You know this about me, but I'm a fan of The Cave.
Yeah.
And so I heard it there first.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it was pretty good. His verse was like pretty fucking cool. I was a fan of it. Anyway. Next, my next album, I listened to this off a recommendation from one of my friends, in real life. I somehow hadn't listened to Yeezus yet, so I took a listen
really?
to that. I did not like Yeezus. I did not like it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd put it like here. I did not like it.
So I feel like this is the section where we start talking about Kanye, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, like he made Graduation, etc.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I love Yeezus. I think it's like I'd say it's my third favorite solo Kanye project, and then
After-
like Kids sits ahead of all of it. But
yeah.
I'd say it's like College Dropout, in no particular order. College Dropout, Yeezus, and Life of Pablo are my three favorite Kanye shits.
The comment I will make on that era of Kanye, like the Yeezus 808s era Kanye, is I respect how much it influenced the new generation that era, but I don't. Yeah, the music is just not for me.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Where do you sit on Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy? I don't know if we really talked about this before.
Oh, that's a weird one for me. I think the album is. I think it is like a solid album. I think it is something that is worth listening to as a hip hop fan, in general.
I think it's absolutely one of those.
I think it's an album.
You have to do it to understand what it meant.
It's kind of like required listening, I think, if you're a hip hop fan. But at the same time, it's also like, I don't know. I used to like it way more than I do now. I'm like very low on new Kanye now. Low key,
Sure.
like post 808s Kanye, I'm very low on now. Besides Kids See Ghosts.
Yeah, right.
And there's a couple songs here and there that I like, right? Like Ghost Town Part 1, that's a great song. I love that.
Ghost Town Part 1's amazing, yeah.
And then
I think Ye has, like, just the album Ye has a lot of really solid tracks. Ghost Town, Wouldn't Leave, No Mistakes are all really good.
Yeah, those are all good. I will say I think my favorite, if I had to rate I think Ye is probably my favorite post 808s album besides Kids See Ghosts. And then second would probably be maybe like Life of Pablo or something.
Yeah, I think that's all fair.
Yeah, that makes sense. I am. So you know this about me, but I'm a very like. I'm a very like. I love soul sampling. Like that's like my whole thing in hip hop. You know. That's probably. I love like the jazz influence.
Yeah.
I think that stuff is so fucking cool. I love when people sample like James Brown and shit. Hey, we're recording, Finn.
Oh.
Hey, we're talking. We're recording about. We're recording about music stuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll just mute then, I think.
Yeah, no problem.
Fix that in post.
Get in. I said do not join if you don't want to talk about music.
Yeah, that works.
All right, so actually, it's funny. It's not funny because I scrolled down on my list, but my next album is a pretty funny one for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one that I like kind of made. You know which one this is, but it's one that I made fun of at first. But I listened to it and I was like, "Yo, wait, hold on." So you should know exactly which one it is based on that, right?
I should. I can't think of it though. What are you talking about? Oh, okay. I mean, yeah.
It's a whole lot of red.
It's a lot of red.
whole lot of red. So I came into 2022. I came into 2022 as a staunch, like, I was like staunchly anti-Cardi coming into 2022, and then I listened to Die Lit and I listened to a whole lot of Red, and it completely changed my stance, and now I fucking love Cardi.
It's so funny, dude. It's what happens to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because
there's one day where it just clicks.
If you hate Cardi, 1 year later you're gonna love Cardi.
Exactly. No, you get it. It's that simple. If you hate Cardi, but you keep getting exposed to it, one day it's like, oh shit, wait, no, this is like really deep and inspirational.
Yeah, like everything clicks.
Okay. Next up, I listened through an album that I saw on Twitter by this dude named Ben Riley. I listened through, it's called Freelance. It was pretty good. I need to listen to it again, but I'd put it solidly like here. I remember it being like really good. It was like exactly my kind of hip hop too, you know?
I don't know nothing about this.
I think I talked to you about it, didn't I? That was like months ago though, to be fair.
If we're this early on the list, you talked to me about it in like February.
That's true. All right, so next up, a very weird album to rank in Donda. I'm putting it there.
I don't like Donda. I'll just be straight up. I think it's okay. I think we definitely didn't need Donda Deluxe to be fucking 32 songs.
No, we didn't. I didn't listen to the Deluxe. I just listened to the main album. I think the
main album's long as
shit. The main album's
too.
like, yeah, okay. My thing with Donda is it's like there's a couple songs on there that are fucking generational, right?
Yeah, like Hurricane is one of the best tracks of this decade so far.
Yeah, Hurricane is insane. It's so good. Have you heard like the leaked version off Yandi?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Clemens? About. Yeah.
No, that shit is
really
absolutely amazing.
Cool too, yeah. But yeah, there's a couple songs off there I really like. I like Hurricane, Off the Grid, of course. I like Jail. I like 24. But other than that, it's like, come on, you know.
Yeah, like if you cut Donda down to the good tracks,
it's a good album. It's like
you make it like 10 or 12 songs. Donda's really good.
Yeah, it's like a top five, debatably top 3 Kanye album if you do that, right? It's so good.
There's so much filler.
Yeah, there's so much bullshit.
Feels like a Drake project, dude.
It's like a Drake project taken to the extreme.
Yeah.
All right, so next up, new Saba project. Obviously, I don't like it as much as Care For Me, and I think it's on the same level as like Bucket List project for me.
Yeah.
But even then, I went back to it recently. It's a really damn good project.
It's very good. I think it's my least favorite Saba overall,
yeah, I think I agree with that, but I still really like it.
I like it a lot.
I'd solidly put it like here or no, actually I'd put it below the No Worries.
No, it's gotta go below. Yeah. I'd actually put it below Whole Lot of Red personally.
Actually, hold on. Let me think about this. Actually, no. I listened to Whole Lot of Red way too much to put it like above Whole Lot of Red. Yeah. Okay, that one interlude on there where his voice is pitched up goes crazy though. You know what I'm talking about?
No, Few Good Things was good. I don't know. I feel like I wanted slightly more out of it after he put out a project like Care For Me.
You know, thinking about this, well, to be fair, Care For Me hit both of us hard because we're both fucking depressed, but you know.
Right. And
I'm thinking about it, I might put it here.
You can't measure everything up against someone's best work.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's tough to follow up a project like that is arguably just a straight up like 9.5 or 10 with Few Good Things, which is very solid, but like it doesn't. when I think about this year, it doesn't stand out a whole lot to me, which is saying something.
Yeah,
because this year was fucking
this
crazy.
year, we'll get to the later stuff this year, but some of the later stuff this year was fucking insane.
Yeah, we're eventually gonna start talking about some really fucking.
We're gonna start talking about a couple really big sleeper albums. I have a couple really sleeper albums that I gushed in DMs to Cam about, but the big stuff, the big name albums this year were all great. I would say for the most part.
Yeah, I don't.
With one exception that we'll get to soon, and that's kind of a hot take given what most people think on Twitter, but you know.
I think I know what you're saying, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about, we'll get there soon. But next up, we actually have like 20 albums to go through before we get there. Next up is, I listened to 2 Sen Morimoto albums. Do you know who Sen Morimoto is?
Yeah, you sent me these. I think I listened to one of them. I can't remember.
I sent you Cannonball, which I listened to in 2021.
Yes, okay. Yeah, Cannonball's amazing.
I listened to his 2 other albums, It's Late and B-Sides and Rarities.
Mm-hmm.
Both are like solid. He's a great he makes some really unique music, and I'd recommend, if you haven't listened to him, go listen to Cannonball first. That's a great album.
Cannonball is I think that's one of like the first things you ever recommended me, I think.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's like a fusion of like jazz, hip hop, like electronic like techniques. It's very cool. And Sections off that album is like one of my favorite songs ever.
Yes.
It's a really good opening track. Anyway, next up we have Continuance by Currency and the Alchemist, which, I mean,
I actually didn't listen to this.
Listen to those 2 names, right? Like,
yeah.
Come on. I'm like solidly, that album, it's like a Griselda project, right? You know?
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
So, I'm gonna put it here, I think. I think that's about right for it. It's a very solid album, but it's nothing special, I would say.
Yeah, it's a very good Currency project with Alchemist production.
It's very solid, but I don't rate it as highly as I rate like the Pilot Talk trilogy, personally. But I mean, it's Currency and the Alchemist. Like, how can you possibly go wrong? Also, if anybody in this VC wants to chime in at any point, you're more than welcome to. There's like 3 more of you.
Yeah, we got a little crowd.
Anyway, because at some point we're gonna get to the stuff that Finn recommended me, and I'm assuming he'll want to talk about it then. Which that's gonna be much later in the year. But all right, next up, Heaven or Hell by Don Toliver. It's a good project. I liked it.
It's not my thing.
You don't like Don Toliver? I really like Don Toliver. I think he's great.
I think he's good at what he does. It's just not my style.
Fair enough. I mean, I would solidly put it like here probably, but there's a couple tracks on there that are like No Idea off that album. I was jamming that for like a week straight.
No Idea is fire.
Yeah. All right, next up, Offline by JPEG Mafia. I'm gonna be honest, I remember listening to this and thinking that it kind of left me wanting a lot more. You know?
Yeah.
It's not like bad or anything. I just remember listening to it and being like, you know.
I think part of that is just you can attribute it to how JPEG releases projects.
Yeah.
Like, everything is very short form. It's kind of reminiscent of fucking like early 2010s like EDM and house.
Yeah.
Where people would put out these really small projects online and get a following through that. And I think JPEG, in his production even, and also the way that he approaches music, he very much leans into that.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna like any JPEG project, just without a doubt.
I mean, I never said I didn't like it. I just thought.
No, I know, I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm just voicing my opinions too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's, again, I feel like I want to avoid doing this more than I'm doing it right now. But like, when you compare it to the run that he went on, where like every single project for 5 years was fucking amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
you're
everything
talking,
from Black Ben Carson all the way up to EP2.
Yeah. Those were all great. I completely agree. Those were all like very. Those were all. I especially like Veteran. Out of there.
Veteran. And then Cornballs is like a top 10 album
Yeah.
of the decade it came out in.
Yeah, Cornballs is also great.
Cornballs is insane.
I listened to it like a very long time ago, like late 2021. So I'm gonna have to revisit it soon.
Yeah.
Speaking of excellent albums, next up is the Earth Gang project from earlier this year.
This is top 10 in the air.
It's fucking phenomenal.
It's so good.
I'm gonna put it like here. I really fucked with it.
Yeah.
That song, that joined fucking Waterboys with J. Cole. I was jamming that
Waterboys.
shit
Waterboys is, I think, the best track on it.
Speaking of which, there's another album coming up much later in the year where J. Cole has like feature of the century.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that.
We're gonna have to talk about Tana Talk 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Conway the Machine. God Don't Make Mistakes. Great album. It's a solidly in top tier. It's like bottom of top tier for me. Because it's just, I think it's just really consistent, and that's what Griselda's really good at, is being some of the
they
most.
They don't put out bad tracks.
No, they're the most consistent artists out there, I think. But I think they have a tendency to kind of stay in that kind of zone of consistency, you know?
Yeah,
I think the one who breaks out of it the most is West Side Gun by far. But I think when you get, I think like Conway and Benny and all them, like they are like incredible. But I feel like a lot of their music is like very similar, which isn't a bad thing because it's all great. But
yeah, I mean they're very much like they know their lane and they stay in it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right. Next up, an album that I'm gonna put all the way down here, and we're not gonna talk about it.
Yep.
Next up, I listened to. So you probably have not heard this, but this is an album I got recommended by somebody in college. It's called the Baritone Sessions Volume 2. It's very cool. It's like an electronic funk album.
It's about to be some music major shit, dude.
It is, yeah. So we won't talk about it very much, but I really liked it.
I'll probably like it if I listen to it.
Yeah, it's not as good as like any of this stuff, but I'm putting it like here.
Okay, wow. All
right, next up, I listened through Shrines by Armand Hammer.
Okay.
I liked it, but it was just kind of like, it was like somewhere in the middle here, I would say, probably around like here. It was pretty good. Next up, so what are your thoughts on fucking I Know Nego? Did you listen to that?
I did. I think it's solid.
I thought it was really hit or miss, personally. I thought the good tracks were like really, really good, but the bad tracks were like something I'm never gonna listen to again.
Yeah, I think. I mean that shit was like loaded with good features.
Yeah, but I didn't really like all the features was the problem.
Correct. Yeah, not all of them actually hit.
Yeah, the Tyler one was insane. That one was awesome.
Yeah, the Tyler shit was great. I think it'd be cool to like see. I don't know. Has Nego had any other projects? Like it's just this, right?
I think so.
I'd be interested to see him put. Okay, apparently he has an album from 2000, which I'm guessing is just a beat tape. Looking at
probably, yeah.
I would be really interested. This is getting into like speculation a little bit, but we already kind of talked about the fact that like we might get a Tyler album in 2023.
Yeah, that would be huge.
I think it'd be really cool to see Nego do production on that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that is absolutely something we could see.
I also think, speaking of this is also speculation, but I think it's not out of the question that Tyler gets like Conductor Williams to do production. Just based
That's
on,
very true.
Just based on I don't. Some of y'all probably don't know this, but he did West Side Gun did an interview where he was like, "Yeah, I listened to this new Tyler shit, and it was cool because he was actually like, first of all, the opener track on Call Me If You Get Lost that's a Conductor beat that West Side Gun used on Michael Irvin." And the West Side Gun was like, yeah, no, Tyler used this beat and then went around giving us both our flowers, which is like really cool, first of all.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, Tyler was like, yeah, Wes and Conductor were the ones who inspired me to get back into rapping, not singing. So that's fucking cool. I really like stuff like that. But anyway, next up is the album that I have a vinyl of sitting on my desk. Melt My Eyes, See Your Future.
This was the best album of the year for a very long time.
Until ooh,
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Melt My Eyes is fucking amazing.
Melt My Eyes, I'm putting it third behind these two, I think. Or actually, you know, I love DiCaprio, but come on. There's another JID album later that's gonna go above it, and you know it.
Obviously.
So
yeah.
it's fine.
No, Melt My Eyes. I listened to this shit almost exclusively on loop for the month after it came out.
It's so good. It's
so good. There is not a bad track. It all every time you listen to it, it gets better.
And did you hear his Tiny Desk concert with NPR too?
Yeah.
He did some tracks off Melt My Eye. He had Walkin' and Melt Session. Those were both Melt Session is like one of my favorite tracks of the year. Walkin' too.
Yeah. And then I think while we're talking about this, let's I don't know if you have it on here separately, but let's roll in the extended edition.
Oh yeah, I do have it on here. I put it on there. I put it on there separately because there was enough that was different, I thought.
Well,
there's
like 3 new tracks, I think.
Yeah, I got it. We're here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
There's 2 new tracks, but then there's also the new versions of the tracks.
No, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The new versions of the tracks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. That's probably fine.
Yeah, right.
All right. All right. Do you have anything else you want to say about Melt My Eyes?
Just shouting out specific tracks. We already said Walk-In and Melt Session. Zatoichi.
Yup, X-Wing is great too.
Yeah, Zatoichi X-Wing, and then off of the extended edition, Chrome fucking Hearts.
The one with Zakari, yeah.
Chrome Hearts is amazing.
That track is so good. I remember you listened to that and you were like, oh, so Zakari coming down from heaven now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Alright, so the next album on here is one that I wasn't really fucking with it at first, but I listened through it again and a couple tracks really stuck with me. That's Nothing Was the Same is the next one.
Oh, okay.
Nothing Was the Same is an album that I said I was gonna listen through a bunch of old Drake shit this year, and the only one I really listened through is that one. But I liked it. I thought it was great, legitimately.
Yeah, no, Drake early in his career, like right when he first found his lane in 2011 or so, he was putting out some really good, really important music. I'd say.
And we talked about this, but the instrumental for the back half of that track, Paris Music 2, it's actually one of the hardest hitting instrumentals, I think, right? It's very simple. It's not really anything super crazy. It's not like a Mad Lib flip where you're like, how the fuck did he do that, you know? But it's it just leads to the track sounding really, he sounds so hungry over the beat too, you know?
Yeah. Because at that point he was.
Yeah, at that point he hadn't really fully came up yet.
It feels
this was
really real.
This was his one of his first really big come up albums, right?
I'd say, it was his breakout.
Yeah, because it was this, and then was If You're Reading This next?
I think so.
Okay. Next up, we'll go through these next two pretty quick. I listened through a couple really cool mashup albums.
Yeah.
First one is Nipsey Hussle and Ninth Wonder. That one was fucking awesome. I'd put it solidly here. And then the next one, it was MF Doom X Nas. That's just Big Will, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd put that a little higher, probably here. It was just fucking cool. Anyway, if you haven't checked out AOK All Day on YouTube, that dude uploads some of the coolest fucking music I hear frequently. Next up, so this is a big one. This is an important one. They dropped this with no promo really at all in the typical J. Cole style.
Yep.
This one is D-Day. The
Yeah.
Dreamville and DJ Drama.
This is I'd say when I think about 2022, there are like 5 big landmark albums for me. That
And
mark
this
year.
is one of them, you'd say?
This is the second one. The
So-
first one was Denzel.
So Denzel, Dreamville, and then I think I know what the other 3 are, but I won't say
Yes.
them yet.
Yeah. So D-Day was fucking amazing.
Wait, can I guess what the other 3 are?
You don't need to guess, dude. You know what they are.
Yeah, I couldn't think of what the last one was, but I think I figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So Stick is like the best opening track on any album this year.
I mean, low key,
That's my take.
they're completely different vibes, but I think Melt Session's a great opener too.
It is.
But yeah, Stick is such a crazy thing to start an album with. Like I heard that come on and I was like, oh shit, yo.
Yeah, they come in different with this one.
Yeah.
Ghetto Gods Freestyle was good. I'm just looking at the track list right now. Starting 5 is awesome.
We'll get there. We'll get there, Val. We'll get there, Val.
It's Val.
We'll talk. They're talking about fucking.
No, we'll get there, bro. We'll get there. Come on, chill.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that album yet, but that one we'll talk about for a little bit. You got it.
Yeah. So some things that I just like want to note with this album with D-Day. I really liked Ari Lennox's solo tracks.
Yeah.
I think she did a phenomenal job on this album.
Yeah, I think let me just make sure I'm remembering correctly what those tracks are. Yup, it's that
Coming
one.
Down,
and
Blackberry Sap.
Blackberry Sap I liked in particular.
Yes.
I thought.
I think one of the other things I really liked about this is normally in the past when I listened to Dreamville albums, it felt like the Jid show.
Yeah.
They were Dreamville albums in my head were Jid albums, but this had literally only the one, right? 2, only 2.
Yeah, because it's the opener track and it's
And then Barry.
and Barry, yeah.
Both of those are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was really cool how much guys like, in particular, Lute and Omen, both got really featured.
Cause went
Cause
crazy
as well.
too, yeah. But I've been telling you about this. I think Omen in particular really like made his mark on this album.
Yeah, no, I think Omen is like very much coming forward as one of Dreamville's brighter prospects. Period.
Yeah, the other thing too is I didn't really fuck with the J. Cole track like in the middle, you know?
Yeah, no, me neither.
Freedom of Speech, it was like okay. But the one on the end, I really like
Yeah.
like Heaven's EP. Heaven's EP
is one of the best Cole tracks in a while.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I don't know, not too much else I want to say about this album,
Yeah,
but it's
I mean, it's a Dreamville project, which means it's good. So
exactly,
that's all we got to say. So we're taking a quick break from hip hop here. Going to a couple albums you might not have heard. I probably recommended these to you. I don't know if you listened to them. So there was a time in my year where I was like very into like city pop.
Oh, we're getting into this phase, okay.
Kind of. There's only 2 albums. There's a couple more later.
Yeah.
The first one is the only one of Tatsuro Yamashita's albums I could find on streaming, which is sad to say the least. But Pacific's the name of the album. It's still pretty good. It's
Pacific. I first heard Pacific like a couple of years ago, actually. I love it.
Yeah.
I think like whenever you first started getting into this shit this year, like I was pretty excited to see it because I love city pop.
Yeah, it's great. I think, because did I say, well, there's another album we'll talk about later that I sent you like a mashup album of, and I remember you were like, I'm about to listen to this with like the top down on a convertible or something.
Was that this year?
Earlier this year, yeah.
Oh my god.
I didn't listen through that was like summer. That was like summer, bro.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, I mean.
No, but that when we get to that album, that shit's amazing.
Next up, Cassiopeia Mint Jams. That's more like jazz, but it's like it's like fusion, but it's like very good fusion. I'd solidly put it year probably. It was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, this album is so weird to me. I really need to listen through this again. But this is another like big name album. It's the new Vince Staples, Ramona Park Broke My Heart. I remember listening through it. It kind of did the same thing for me as the self-titled did, where I didn't like it at first, and I listened through it a little more, and I was like, okay, it's getting a little better, you know?
We both went up on this as we listened to it.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
God, I need to like to fully formulate an opinion on that. I need to listen to it again, but I'm gonna put it like somewhere in mid tier for now. Probably like here. I think that's fair.
Okay. I'd say I like that spot.
Next up, this is another album that is not hip hop. I do think I sent this to you though. This is Antiphon by Alpha Mist.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you heard this, but it's
I don't think I listened to it, no.
It's really like, first of all, the drummer on that album he does some fucking incredible things. It's crazy. The instrumental parts are very like it's very like Dilla-Jazz, if you know what I'm talking about. But it's very like the drummer fills in so much space like behind it to the point where it's like a very cool like experience, I would say.
Yeah.
It's like 50 minutes, like 8 tracks, you know, and every musician in that group every musician there is phenomenal, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'd probably put it like here as well. Ike, it's very good. Next up, another mashup album. I don't remember this one too well, but it's a mashup of MF Doom and, do you pronounce it Sade? I don't know. But it's like somewhere. I'd put it like here. I'd put it like here probably.
Okay.
Next up,
that one. Yeah.
I had a very short, well, not short because I do like it, but I had a J-pop phase as well.
Yep.
So I listened through an Eve album. By the way, that dude has a great voice. I don't know if you've like listened to him that much.
I think I know who you're talking about.
He did the first Jujutsu Kaisen opening.
Now you're talking weep shit. I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
You got a point. Hold on.
No, but I feel like I might know who this is.
Yeah. Anyway, the album's called Otogi that I listened to. Take a listen through it. It's pretty short, if I remember right.
Here I have it up here. It's like 40 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty short. It's a good listen though. It's just like a great vibe, I think. So this is another weird one that's up next. This is one that you and I both. This is like a. I don't know if this is one of your like landmarks from 2021. But this is an album that I had several experiences this year listening to. It's By the Time I Get to Phoenix by Injury Reserve.
Okay, I got a lot to say about this.
Okay, start talking, bro. You got it.
Yeah, so yeah, this was quite possibly my favorite album of 2021. It wasn't at the time of 2021, but this year I saw Injury Reserve on tour. And I imagine we're going to get to the other group that I saw with them. I assume that's on this list.
There's a couple albums, yep.
Yeah, so listening to this shit live and watching them perform it was like transformative for me. It was one of the single greatest music experiences I've ever had.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to it, if you know about Injury Reserve at all, whoever the fuck is watching this for some reason, this album, partway through making it, one of the 3 members of their group died. And that really heavily shifted the tone of the album.
You can hear that, like right where it happens.
It's one of the rawest fucking performances of grief that I've ever seen.
The end of this album.
So the highlight of this album is the last like 4 tracks, because
the last 4, but especially the last 2.
Yes, the transition between the last 2 tracks is perfect.
Oh
like,
my god.
I'm someone who is a very heavy believer in the album format, where you should make an album as a complete self-inclusive project. And this is one of the best examples of that I've ever heard. There is
Yeah.
a very intense catharsis that happens as you listen to this album.
Yeah.
So I don't know where you're putting this on your list.
It's gonna
For
go
me,
high. It's gonna go
the-
high.
For me, this is going to sit like right up there with like Melt My Eyes. Honestly.
That was about where I was gonna put it right below Denzel, actually.
Yeah, I think that's
Like
totally
right
fair.
there. Yeah. So yeah. I feel like I didn't really have. I obviously don't have the same kind of experiences as Cam does, but I think my take on it is very similar. I think you can definitely hear so much emotion in this album. This is one of the things where it's like if you have like if you listen to more like experimental stuff, this is a classic example of like by like you're not like breaking the rules. You're kind of they set themselves free with this album. They were able to really express things in a way that you're not able to by making music like they had in the past, I think.
Yeah.
And this album is one of the most unique sounds I've ever heard. And I honestly don't know if it's really possible to put into words, I would say. But it's like it's something that if you're not like I understand it's one of the albums where it's like I understand not liking it, obviously, because it's so weird and like out there for most people, right? But if you really get into it and you listen to what's happening and you listen to the lyrics and you like know the story, it becomes like this like triumph.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say. All right. Anyway, on a brighter note,
just real quick,
Yeah.
I gotta go feed my dogs for a sec. So
okay, I'll hold it down while you're gone. Somebody want to unmute and talk with me? Val?
Sure.
Alright.
Okay,
Hey.
we got all three of these motherfuckers here. We got Finn and Josh and Val. You here?
Sorta.
Okay, if I say something that you need to talk about, will you chime in?
Absolutely.
All right, so we got some guest stars, to keep up with Cumsil. But next up, I don't know if any of y'all listen to I listened to another Mick Jenkins album, Elephant in the Room. I feel like the person who's most likely to have listened to this would be Val.
It's not me.
It's not you. I
Unfortunately.
feel like it's definitely Cam, but he's not here.
as it were.
Yeah, it was good. I didn't like it as much as The Waters, so I'm gonna put it lower, but it was good. Let's put it like here, probably. All right. Next up, Coda the Friend. This was a Cam recommendation. Lyrics to Go, Volume 3. It's another one where it's like pretty solid, but I don't honestly like remember it all that well because it was so long ago. But it was like pretty good. I'll put it like here.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Next up, this is one that's a little contentious.
Oh no.
808s and Heartbreak.
Oh, interesting.
So before I talk about it, what do we think of 808s?
I'm not a big fan, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
There are like some
I'm in
songs on it that I
between.
do quite like, but I think as a whole album, it kind of drags for me a bit.
What you got, Val?
I like a few tracks off of it a lot, like Paranoid and I think Love Lockdown. I think about a lot, very often.
Love
But,
Lockdown, I like Heartless as well.
Heartless is good.
Yeah, Heartless, obviously. Heartless goes crazy.
I think the story behind it is way cooler than the actual album,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest. Because the whole
That's
story,
pretty fair, yeah.
with it being like something. Did he go through a breakup? Is that what it was?
I think it was he broke up with
Yeah, because he made the first three. He made Graduation, Late Reg, College Dropout, and then he was gonna make Good Ass Job.
Yep.
And then that ended up getting put on hold because he went through a breakup.
Amber Rose.
Yep, Amber
That
Rose.
was
Yep.
It was
He-
Amber Rose. I was
Yep.
literally trying to think
Uh-huh.
about that the whole time.
And he made 808s instead, and then he went on a little bit of a. He went down that path for a little bit, made Dark Fantasy, then did an interview with Chance the Rapper in like 2018 or something after Coloring Book, where he was like, yeah, we're gonna put out, like, we're making Good Ass Job. Me and Chance are making Good Ass Job. We're putting Chicago back on the map, you know? And then it ended up being The Big Day.
Which is awesome,
funny.
still.
I don't even know if Kanye participated in The Big Day, but he said they were making Good Ass Job together. But anyway, I'm probably gonna put it like there. I'm not like the biggest fan of it personally. Next up.
Hey, I'm back. What you talk about, Lozgun?
We talked about
Anything
the big one. The big one was 808s.
Oh, okay. Oh no, we already kind of talked Kanye, so.
Yeah, the big one was 808s. Other than that, it was just a couple. We talked about. I put a Coda album and another Mick Jenkins album on there.
Oh, Lyrics to Go. I fuck with that.
Yeah.
It's alright. I like Coda.
Yeah, Coda's good.
And then Elephant in the Room. Honestly, I'd have Elephant in the Room higher, but that's still fine.
I mean, yeah, it's just because I need to like listen through it again is the big thing.
Yeah, totally fair.
All right, the next album on here is weird. It's very hit or miss for me. It goes between being like it's a question mark by X.
Okay.
a couple of the songs on there are very the one with Joey Badass is so good.
Yeah.
And there's one more that I really like too. It's I forgot what it was, and I'm not gonna look up the album because I'm lazy. But I mean, there's a couple songs on there that are like really popular, you know, and you can kind of, but it's like okay. It's a short listen though. It's like worth listening to. I would say just one time.
I think so, yeah. Just
I'd
because like this is sort of again talking about like if you're into hip hop, like X was an important person.
He was, yeah,
for the scene.
Especially if you're a fan of like Ski Mask.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of Ski Mask, you've listened to X.
Yeah,
I think that goes without saying.
Yeah. All right, next up, this is an EP. It's an Emmanuel by Amir Van. I'd heard the opener track on this. I forget if it's the title track, but I'd heard the opener track on this. Like a while ago, but I hadn't listened through the whole project. And so I finally got through listening to it again this year. And it's the opener track is it's a really powerful statement. The beat is literally just 808s. And it's just Amir talking about like mental health and like struggles, the struggles he's gone through like since like before and since leaving Brockhampton. This came out in 2019.
Yeah.
And so it's been like this album is basically just like it's very Amir, which I don't know, I like it. I'd put it like top half of this for sure. Probably like here? Yeah. Seems good to me. Alright, so this album, this is the one I was talking about earlier where I was like, everybody likes this album, but I don't like it. This is I Never Liked You. The Future album.
Oh, okay. I didn't like this.
Yeah.
I didn't like this at all.
I'd put it like here, high key.
It's not that great.
The one track on there with Drake and Sampha is like really good.
Yeah.
But the whole rest of the album is like not good.
No, it's really not. I don't know. I'm just trying to think if I have literally anything else to say about it. I don't think so.
Yeah. This next one's funny.
This one was also too long, by the way. Way too many tracks.
I agree. Yeah. That's a problem I think a lot of people have is they put way too many fucking tracks on their shit.
I think that happened a lot this year.
The next one, so there's one more album and then we get to like a landmark. This next one's kind of funny. I listened through a Babytron album because I thought it was funny. And so it was like, okay, you know, it's Babytron.
It's Babytron.
I mean, I did like it more than like everything in this tier. So I'd probably put it like here. There you go. All right. So the next album, this is such a weird one. This is a new Kendrick.
Yep, let's talk about it. Okay, so
Oh God. So the night that this came out, I was messaging like 4 different people about how like holy shit, this shit is fucking like it's beautiful, it's generational. The first like there's a run on this album that is up there with anything Kendrick's ever made. But then like I don't like the first half to like the first 3/4 is like a solid Kendrick album. And then but there's like a couple songs on there that I'm never going to listen to again, you know? Or like that I feel like I can't listen to again.
So this is part of rating this album. I think you're raising a good point about stuff you can never listen to again or won't ever listen to again. There's nothing commercial about this album except for like 2 tracks.
Yeah.
Obviously. I personally, this is my, I think this is my second favorite Kendrick project. Like, I've sat with this album a lot and re-listened to it a lot this year because my thoughts on it are very complicated. Sort of how we were talking about the Injury Reserve album. This is one of the most honest depictions of emotion that I've ever seen,
Yeah.
especially in a hip hop album.
It's a great depiction of the big thing for me is it's a depiction of like aging and growth, I think.
Yes.
Like through a hip hop lens and through through the lens of like growing up the way he did and having to learn basically by being out in the world. Which it's a perspective that nobody's really taken, which is why Kendrick is so cool to me, is because he does this consistently.
So a lot of my IRL friends did not like this album. People who like they're not as like deep into like fucking, you know, nerd ass hip hop history like you and I are.
Yeah.
Casual listeners did not like this album.
No.
Casual
listeners like
say that,
Damn and
like,
Good Kid. Casual listeners like those 2 albums. And
yeah.
they like T-Pab because people tell them to like T-Pab.
And those people would tell me that their favorite tracks on this album were like N95 and Silent Hill. Which
Even from a casual listener standpoint, there's like a bunch.
I don't know. I genuinely just don't know how you can listen to this and not take away anything from it. So this album did a really weird thing where when it came out and when I listened to it, it recontextualized Kendrick's entire discography. This is the perfect ending to a story. His entire arc in the music industry has been leading to making this album. And specifically, like, especially because after the album released, he sort of like tacked on the Heart Part 5 as a C-side.
Yeah.
And that really solidified it for me.
Well, because the Heart parts 1 through 4 is basically, it's the story of like the Heart. If you think about it, it's really analogous to like Section 80 through Damn, right?
Yeah.
Parts 1 through 4, and then part 5 is like basically concluding that saga as well.
And in doing so, and especially looking at the last 5, I think, tracks of this album is what I'd say: Savior, Auntie Diaries, Mr. Morale, Mother I Sober Mirror, and then Heart Part 5. He's just figured his shit out. Like, that's what it is. Every other album that he's put out has been a lot of like questioning and reassessing and understanding and processing.
Yeah, I mean, think about T-Pab, right?
What his experience was exactly.
Yeah.
And so this album coming out, and you even see the arc in the album itself, which is insane.
It goes from like the arc of the album literally goes from like a more hungry sounding Kendrick at the beginning of the album, like like even right away on United in Grief, he says like he's like the first line he gives you is I've been going through something, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it's actually crazy because the first night I listened to the album, right? I finished the album. I finished Mirror, right? Before he put the Heart Part 5 on there. I finished Mirror and it looped back to United in Grief and I heard that again and I was like, "Oh, this makes so much more sense now."
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, this isn't like a unique perspective to take, but this album's a therapy session. That's the whole
Yes.
thing.
Mhm.
And then especially like you hit the B-side and it's session 10 breakthrough.
Yeah.
And then the album flips. It goes from this like everything N95, Worldwide Steppers, Father Time, Cry Together, Purple Hearts, lots of like turmoil and like anger at the world. And then
Yeah,
you
I
hit the
will
second
say, I
half.
will say also, I think it's purposeful that the first half was more commercial too.
Yes, it absolutely was. I think that that is a huge part of what the album was intended to do.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, because I have it up on Spotify right now, the difference is staggering in terms of the listens.
Yeah, because it's like, what, off the second half, people listen to like Silent Hill, right? And that's it.
Yeah, Silent Hill has 95 million. Count Me Out has 80 million. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks on the first half that have more listens than all of those.
Yeah.
And then just another thing I want to mention about this album. Savior Interlude and Savior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to like say that real quick. That's about
You
it.
just want to shill Baby Keem. We get it.
I want to shill Baby Keem because holy fuck.
We know,
his
we know,
verse
we
on
know you love Keem, bro. It's chill.
his verse on Interlude was one of my favorite verses of the year, straight
Yeah.
up.
With all of that being said, where the fuck do we put this? Probably like somewhere in here, right? It's a similar kind of concept to Injury Reserve, right?
Yeah,
So I put it like
fit
here
right
probably.
alongside
I
that.
do think I like the Injury Reserve a little bit more, just a little bit.
I actually would bump Denzel below both of these
You think? I can
for
see
my
that.
list.
I can
For
see
my
that.
list at least. But yeah, I mean, either way, it's hard to go wrong with this. This is a nearly perfect album.
Yeah. What's
And
crazy? What's crazy is just the closing thought for me on this is the night I listened to it, I was like, oh, this is like really fucking good. I didn't know he had it in him to top like everything he'd made. And then a couple months later, I'd like cooled down on it, and I was like, yeah, it's like okay. But then thinking about it again, like in the last month or so, I was like, damn, he really did that, huh? You
On
know?
listen, I think you and I both did this. On first listen, we were calling this his best album ever.
Yeah.
Um,
Which
And I think
it?
part of that is that this hits harder on the first listen than every other listen. Because
yeah,
you listen to
'cause
this for
you
the
gotta
first
listen
time
through. You gotta listen through TPAB like again and again
several
to get
times
it.
to get
Yeah.
it. But you listen to this for the first time, and the type of shit that Kendrick is saying hits you like a truck.
Because he's not subtle about it.
He holds nothing back, and I
He's-
think that's super admirable about this album. Again, just gonna comment on the listen things. Why the fuck are the two least listened tracks on this album Auntie Diaries and Mother I Sober? Are
Because
we kidding? Like what?
the reason is because people don't like. I feel like it's because a lot of people don't want to listen to that kind of like unpacking.
Yeah, so
Like, most
that's
of the
sort
time.
of that's sort of like a final remark I want to make is I forget what the fuck it was. I literally saw like some YouTube clip where people were talking about the album, and there was like one person there that was saying like I don't like this album. I feel like I have to be doing homework when I'm listening to it because there's a lot of fucking depth to this album. And then the other person made a comment like the reason I think this album is so great is because Kendrick doesn't expect you to meet him on his level with this album.
No.
You listen to it where you're at,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll still learn from this album.
This
This is a teaching album, which is super rare.
Yeah, it comes off as both he made this for himself and also he made this for everybody listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
He made this for like he made it for him, he made it for like his family, he made it for like the people that he knew like growing up that he made his other albums about.
And I think another thing is he made it so he never had to make another album again.
I think that's the other thing, yeah. But
Like I think he's done. I think this is a perfect way to end his career. I know he said that he's done and is going to focus on PG Lang from now on.
Does that
I
mean he's
mean-
done recording stuff forever? Probably not. He'll probably hop on a
He's
feature
gonna
from
he's
time to
gonna have
time.
features for sure. But he's going to focus on making an impact outside of recording music because I mean a lot of the ending of this album was him sort of summarizing like how toxic it's been to be in the music industry for him.
Yeah. All right. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that's more than enough shilling Kendrick.
we talked a whole lot about this. You know, just a couple of white boys that like Kendrick. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But
no offense.
next up we have another Coda album.
Okay.
Coda. You know, it's Everything is this one. This was one that
Oh,
I got.
This was only this year for you.
Yeah, this was like.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was the first Coda album I ever heard. I heard it like the year it came out.
Yeah, this is. I personally thought this was very good.
I like everything a lot.
I'd put it here solidly.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
Next up, Heaven and Earth by Kamasi Washington. This is some like nerd shit.
I did not know this one yet.
Kamasi Washington is like. I don't know how to describe what he makes effectively, but it's like more commercialized, like. It's like what would happen if like Chris Potter made like commercialized music. Chris Potter's like a very good tenor saxophone player.
Yeah, okay.
Like in the
You-
in the jazz.
My
sphere
eyes are
specifically.
glazing over just because I'm not familiar enough with this
You
right
got
now.
it,
But
you
that's
got
cool.
But yeah,
like I'm
he's-
sure everything you're saying is valid.
Kamasi's like a very good saxophone player, obviously, but I'm just not the biggest fan personally. I'd put it like here, the first one here, and there's a follow-up album too that I listened to, called The Choice, which is it's kind of cool. It's like hidden within that album. Like there's like a CD you can like open like a secret flap and you find a second CD.
Oh, is this some fucking like Childish Gambino 3000 shit?
Yeah. But yeah, they're both like okay. All right, next up, Chasing Summer by Sir. I listened to this year.
This I'm taking credit for this one.
You are, because you recommended it to me. It's very good.
This-
it's
This
really
album's
good.
Super good.
I'm putting it like here.
Yeah, I'd put it up in
Yeah.
this area for sure.
All right, next up. This is the first Boldy album I listened through ever. Actually, I
Oh,
listened
shit.
through his first release from this year, Killing Nothing.
Yeah.
And then shortly after, I listened through Price of Tea in China too.
Mm-hmm.
So we're starting to get.
about both those.
Yeah, we're getting to like the end of my last semester for me right now.
Yeah.
The end of spring semester of 22 for me.
Mhm.
So this Boldy album, you know, it's a Griselda project. What else do I gotta say?
Yeah.
It goes here.
Boldy like had a reputation for a while of being like the best kept secret in hip hop because
Yeah.
this dude was so fucking good, putting out such amazing music, getting no recognition.
Yeah.
It was insane. And Killing Nothing is great. I think Price of Tea in China is better. I think
Yeah,
it's
Price of Tea in China is much better just because of Surf and Turf. And wait, also fucking what's the name of that one track? The opener?
Giant Sled.
Is that
I
the
think.
opener? No,
Is that the opener?
I think it's Caruth. Is the opener. Yeah, Caruth is the opener. I really like that one.
Yeah. No, Price of Tea in China is like one of the straight up best albums. This listening to this for the first time really put Boldy on the map for me.
Yeah, and the song with Benny on there too is crazy.
Yes.
All right, next up, we're getting a little back into my city pop phase.
Mhm.
This is the best city pop album I listened to this year by a mile. This is For You by Tatsuro Yamashita. Absolutely phenomenal album. Holy shit.
Is this
This
Did I listen to
this is the one that got mashed up with Doom.
okay? Then yes, I listened to this and I listened to the mashup.
Yeah.
This album's fucking incredible.
For You
wow.
is so good. Sparkle is one of my favorite opening tracks ever.
Yeah.
It's so good, and the whole rest of the album is just a pure vibe, you know.
Yeah.
High
There's
key, I'm gonna put it like here, like not above Dreamville, but like here, high key, it's that good, I think.
Yeah, no, I'd say that's totally fair.
Next up, this is All of Me by Masayoshi Takanaka. Great guitar player, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a bunch of very cool live recordings of him. I like this album. It's pretty good. It's not as good as the other one for sure. Or the other, it's not as good as For You, so I'd put it like down here probably, like here probably. I think that's fair. Next up, what else do we got next? We got Cat by Hiroshi Suzuki. I found this album because there's a beat that Blunder uses in his videos that samples one of the songs off this album.
Okay.
And that should tell you everything you need to know about this album. But no, it's really good. It's a jazz like combo. Hiroshi Suzuki is a trombone player. And this album features some really, it's really like it's really laid back. It's great like late night music. But it features some really good trombone playing. So I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's very good.
I actually want to interject here because we're getting to about the time of the year when this became relevant for me.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about city pop and sort of J-pop. This is reminding me of ON, which in turn is reminding me that I want to talk about the Omori soundtrack just briefly. Because
God, you're such a nerd. Jesus Christ.
Fuck
Jesus.
you.
I mean,
And
it's
in the
good.
same vein,
It's good.
There's other video game soundtracks I want to mention too.
Wait,
so
did I
wanna do a quick diversion for
did
this.
I put you onto Omori or did you put me onto Omori? I forget.
No, I was late on Omori.
I put you onto it?
I'm
Is that
pretty
what
sure,
it was?
I'm pretty sure
Val
I
put
put
me
you onto it. I'm
Did
pretty
you
sure
put
I
me onto
you
it?
onto it?
I had
Yes,
real life
I did.
I had real life friends that I took it from as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I got it from Val and like one other
Okay.
person who had mentioned it in the past.
Okay.
Um,
Cuz I played Omori about a year ago for the first time.
yeah, and I played it in June of this year.
Yeah. So you were like 6 months after me. You got it.
So yeah, Omori soundtrack is amazing, and then the other big one I want to mention that I heard for the first time this year is Risk of Rain 2
Yep.
because
Risk of Rain 2.
I
Great
got on that
soundtrack.
late. Absolutely phenomenal soundtrack. If you put it as a single album, the Survivors of the Void DLC, those tracks are probably a top 10 album for me this year.
Yeah.
I heard.
It's really good.
It's
Yeah.
so incredible. Chris Christodoulou is already one of my favorite composers for video game music that I've ever heard. Just from
he's
that.
great. He's great.
And like through that, I went and listened to some of his other projects. It's all amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
He did the work for Transistor, I believe, as well.
yes, Transistor.
That's great. And then there
yeah,
was
I
one.
was about to mention the Transistor I listened to this year. The soundtrack for that was really good as well.
Yeah, it's great,
Awesome.
right?
Yeah, it's really good.
All right. This next one, this is a bit of a hot take for me, I think, low key, because I know just about everybody likes this album, but I only thought it was just okay. It's the new Pusha T. It's Almost Dry.
Oh, I liked it. I liked it quite a lot.
It's like, good, but I wouldn't put it anywhere near top tier.
Low key is something that I noticed happening with like the last few Pusha projects I've listened to. Because obviously, like, how long ago was Daytona?
2016. I think.
20,
Might have been 2018, yeah.
So, I listened to Daytona, and it was fucking phenomenal. And then Griselda came up. And I was listening to Griselda a lot. And then I listened to It's Almost Dry. And it felt worse than it would have been if I had never listened to Griselda. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because Griselda kind of just did It's Almost Dry, but better, I think.
Like, they just hold that lane and they have such like an iron fist on it of putting out this incredible music.
How many albums did West Side Gun drop this year that are just incredible? Right?
Exactly.
You know, it's like at least 2, right? I'm pretty sure. Because the Griselda drops so much, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, so next one, new Lupe Fiasco, drill music in Zion.
Oh,
It's pretty good. It's pretty
it was
good.
good. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Lupe,
I'd put it solidly.
hard
like,
for Lupe to put out a bad album.
Yeah, low key. I'd put it solidly. Like it's above Push for sure. I'd put it like here solidly. It was a great album. Next up, Price to Tea in China.
Yeah.
We talked about this one already, but I'd put it, you know, like up here. Or this is high tier. No, this is high tier minus. Actually, never mind. My fault. I gotta move it up. Price to Tea in China would go like here. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Next up, Apartment 505 by Coast Contra.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, we got. You want to talk about Eric Jamal or?
Yeah, let's talk about Eric Jamal.
All right, bro.
So, did you discover them first, or did I?
Val did actually.
Val did. You're right.
Because Val sent me the a freestyle from them, and I listened to it, and then you sent me the same freestyle.
Yeah, like
independently.
Yeah, yeah. So, Coast Contra, for anyone who's not aware, they're a group out of like. I know Jamal is from Philly. I don't know if the rest of them are as well, but they're like. I'm struggling to exactly place them, but really they put out like a lot of freestyles that were sort of like getting pretty popular on like YouTube or fucking like TikTok, whatever you want to say. It's some of the most raw fucking talent I've heard from a rapper like since Kendrick's early days.
He can go wherever he wants to go. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. So the big what's like the name of the big freestyle?
There's like the Never freestyle. There's the Give Up the Goods freestyle.
Give Up the Goods. That's the one.
Yeah.
So,
is that the one where is that the one where he's like that's the one you guys first sent me, right? That one?
That's the one where he's on his ODB shit.
Oh, yeah, yep. Okay, there you go. There you go.
Doctor.
So, yeah. So, if you are listening to this and you have not heard Coast Contra, go on YouTube, search up the Give Up the Goods freestyle.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is listening to that got me back on my, like, Mobb Deep shit, too.
Yeah. No, seriously. It's like, it feels like the modern version of Mobb Deep and Wu-Tang.
Yeah, it's really impressive. It's really impressive, yeah.
These dudes are insanely talented, and I'm really excited for them to actually break through.
That said, this album was a first album. Sadly. Yes. 505 is a phenomenal track. Everybody on that track, every single verse hits crazy. There's a couple other tracks too. It's just like the rest of it is just kind of, you know, it's a little long, I think. But it's also like there's more. They can push the boundaries of their group more, I think. That being said, it's a solid first project. I think it's a great first step for them, and I'm really excited to see where they go. Because I think that the future is very bright for everyone in that group. Okay, yes, next absolutely. Up, French Kiwi Juice. Ylang Ylang EP. Did I put you onto this? Yeah.
You put me onto this.
You fuck with it now?
I actually was wondering if we were going to talk about this. Because
yeah.
I looked through my albums I listened to, and this was on it. This album is fucking phenomenal.
Isn't it?
This album is so good.
Isn't
it? I'm really shocked it took me this long to find this guy.
The track with the track with Boss on that album is so good.
That's the big one.
Yeah. But yeah, so for those who don't know, FKJ, French Kiwi Juice, is a French electronic producer, but not electronic in the way you think. Like, it's not like a K-Tronada kind of electronic. It's more like he has a DAW open. He makes very loop-based music, but he's like a pianist, a bassist, a guitarist, a saxophone player. a singer, and he uses that all and just makes like some really beautiful music out of it.
Yes.
It's really impressive. It's something that it's the kind of like DAW use that I really think is really cool. And I think that if you haven't heard him, you should go listen to him. If you were to listen to one song, go listen to Tato, his collab with Masego. But everything he's put out is phenomenal. To say the least.
This project in particular, I was really excited to listen to when you first showed me, because I'm really big on like those very like piano heavy tracks.
Yeah. So I'm putting it up here. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have a recommendation that I got from 16-bit. Shout out 16-bit. Ceres and Calypso in the Deep Time by Candy Claus. I asked for shoegaze recommendations, and this album was like, okay.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like it
I
very
was
much.
trying to think what the fuck this was. That makes sense.
It's it was good on first listen, but I just don't really find myself going back to it like ever.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
like
I'm personally down with shoegaze.
I know I like shoegaze. It's just
Yeah.
there are more albums coming up that I like way better than this one.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
All right. Next up, 2000 by Joey Badass.
Oh shit, we're here already.
We like this. You say we're here already, but we still have 107 albums to go. So
No, I know. I wasn't really thinking of where we are in time.
yeah.
Yeah, so this album was really fucking good.
Yeah, this album, I feel like it's an album that's not talked about as much as it should be.
No, it really got lost in the shuffle, and that's super unfortunate because
Yeah.
Joey is insanely talented.
Yeah, he
Like-
is. We talked about Boldy being one of the best kept secrets earlier. Joey is also up there.
Is he? Would you say he's like a secret? Because I feel like
For a period of-
1999
for a
was a
period
pretty
of-
well-known album.
For a period of time, he was for a long time. Like
Okay.
not even post 1999 for a little bit. People are like,
Because 1999 was in like 2012.
yeah, but you bring up even like now, it's like if you bring up Joey Badass, people are like, some people are like who are hip hop fans are just like, who, you know?
Yeah.
And you put them onto his shit, and he's like, oh my god, this guy has crazy bars,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's the can we talk about a couple of the songs on this album? Zip Codes.
I was gonna mention a few things in specific. Zip
Yeah.
Codes, and is
Brand
one
New-
of them.
Brand New 9/11.
Yep.
What's the one with Jid?
Yep, that's the one I was gonna say too. "Wanna Be Loved." That is the
Yeah.
best track on the album for me.
Well, I wonder why.
Yeah, right.
Because
Big
you're
fucking shock.
fucking Jid's biggest shill 2022. So it's fine. We get it.
Yeah, no spoilers.
But anyway, it's not even a spoiler. This is like a known Comsil fact.
Who the fuck know about Cumsil that's watching this video? Actually, anyone who's watching this video probably knows Cumsil. You're right.
It's gonna be all the people in the Stirk and like 2 of my IRL friends. So
Yeah,
congrats,
okay.
you did it. All right, so we put it. So I'm gonna put it there, right below A Whole Lot of Red. I think that's probably about right.
It's in the same area, yeah.
Yes. All right. Next up is we're back on a little bit of J-pop, J-rock type shit. I listened through an Asian Kung Fu Generation album. These guys are killing, by the way.
Was this an Eden recommendation?
No, I listened through this. I found this on my own.
Okay.
But I know Eden really likes. I know Eden.
He
Really
fucks
likes
with these
them.
guys, yeah.
But I listened through Soulfa was the name of the album. It's a great album, legitimately. It's just like a good album. I don't really know what else to say. I'd put it like here. Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are really good. I want to get listening to more of their stuff.
All right.
I don't have much to say, but they're good. They're talented.
Okay. So next up we have I listened through another Joey Bad. I just listened through Badass by Joey Badass.
Okay.
It was good, but I liked 2000 more personally.
Yeah, it doesn't measure up to 2000 or 1999.
Yeah, I'd put.
but
I
it's still
think
a very good
19.
album.
I think 1999 is his best still.
Mhm.
2000 is second, and then it's like Babylon.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I'd say that's
yeah.
fine.
Oh wait, no, the Babylon's a song. It's All American Badass is the name of the album, I think.
Yeah.
I'll look
It
him
is,
up
it is.
quickly just to be sure, because I want to make
Yeah,
sure I'm not
the
misremembering.
All
Yep,
American
it's All
thing,
American. I'm thinking of all. Yep, I'm thinking of that. Yeah, Babylon is the song I'm thinking of because I really like that song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot about the song with Schoolboy Q on this album. What the hell? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm gonna put it like maybe not all the way down there, actually. Maybe like here. Yeah, that's fair. Alright, next up, Supreme Clientele by Ghostface Killah. This was the first album that Finn recommended me this year.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was a very long time ago. This was in like the
That was
summer.
ages ago.
I listened to it while I was working over the while I was at my job over the summer. So that should tell you how long ago it was.
Yeah,
But
ages.
yeah, no, that album is very solid. I think everybody knows like Ghostface, of course, like from the
Yeah.
Wu-Tang days, and then even now he's still putting out great stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of just assumed that you'd have listened to a bunch more of his stuff, to be honest.
No, honestly, I'm not really like. It's kind of weird to think that I haven't really listened to that like sphere, but I haven't. So there you go. I got
There you
into a
go.
lot of older Jay-Z stuff later in the year, so that's the first step. We'll go further back after. But anyway, where do I put this? Probably like around here, this area? Yeah, I think here's probably correct. All right, next up, Cam, I know you got opinions on this one. Val, I'm pretty sure you got opinions on this one too. We got Channel Orange.
Yeah. So
I have an opinion that I realized halfway through the year may not be the popular opinion, but I like Channel Orange a lot more than Blonde.
really,
We
Yes.
don't. So
yeah.
Cam
Huh.
and I
Okay.
have some things to say. Well, we have some things to say to you later, but we'll be withholding them for
No,
now.
listen. I can respect the opinion. Channel Orange is a really fucking. Good
Oh, I
project.
was saying we're going to take Val like into an alley and beat the shit out of them. So
I'm okay-
This
I'm
is
okay with-
crazy.
I'm okay with Val's opinion here. You could try and beat up Val if you want. He kind of small though, so he might slip away.
I'm gonna run.
Loki, you kind of slippery, Loki. You might just slip out of my grasp. I'm a little nervous.
So
I got
okay.
the speed.
I will talk about Channel Orange for a minute though, because like Will just mentioned, I was the one who put Will on a Frank Ocean.
Yes,
I will take the credit and or blame for this.
yes. So you
because,
fucked up, is what you did.
Yeah, I fucked up. I done fucked up Will. No, so Channel Orange, this, I think I listened to it after I first found Blonde, as well. I think Blonde was my first Frank Ocean.
Same.
There are a lot of really incredible tracks on this album. The number one thing that stands out in my mind is obviously Pyramids.
Yup.
Fucking
It's-
like 10-minute masterpiece of a track.
Mm-hmm.
And then Super Rich Kids, Pink Matter, because
Yep.
Frank is the only fucking person on the planet that can get Andre 3K features these days. Please feature on more things.
If we could just get Andre 3000 to like the Lil Wayne role, where we just
That's
keep
what I'm
seeing
saying,
him as a
dude.
feature, like the Lil Wayne or the J Cole role, where he's just featuring on like everything. I think everybody would be okay with that. Unfortunately, I don't think he cares about us that much, and you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we kind of just have to hold that
The
one.
world would benefit, though.
Really would.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
for
would.
sure, for sure.
Speaking of Andre, we'll talk more about him later.
Yes, we will.
Because
I'm glad to hear
Did you
that.
listen to Stank like Outcast albums this year? Is that why you say that?
Yeah, I listened through
Oh, man.
at the end of this year. I listened through Aquemini and AT-Aliens for the first time.
Mm.
Good stuff.
Channel Orange though, Channel Orange is great. I'm putting it like
Yeah, Channel Orange is
here,
really
high key.
fantastic.
It's very good. All right, next, this is an album that I thought was very good when I first listened to it, but I've since cooled off on it very heavily. East Atlanta Love Letter by Black.
Hmm.
I forgot this album came out this year.
It did not.
Did it not?
Nope.
No, it didn't.
No.
Came out.
Okay.
What was it? 2018.
That would be
2018,
why I
yeah,
forgot.
2018.
That makes
2018.
sense.
Yeah.
Very
Very
I
long.
forgot about that.
Anyway, it belongs like here. That's about all I'll say about that. Because I want to get to the next album because it's very important to me.
Okay.
So you know I'm the world's biggest Chris Patrick shill.
Oh, God, okay.
Oh
After this,
shit.
after
Okay.
this.
We've
Right,
hit,
right.
So we've reached X-Files.
All right,
Which-
let's tell a little story for the listeners.
Okay.
Will, how many times did you have to ask me to listen to this album?
Like
Before I listened to
10!
He's still asking me because I keep forgetting.
Did you?
Still
I apologize.
Did you? You still haven't listened to it either?
No,
I have not.
I have.
I haven't.
Oh my
That's the
lord.
problem.
I told
here.
you I listened to it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
good.
so
It's a
like,
good album. It's very
it's
good.
really good.
I'm
It's
sure it
really
is.
good.
I just haven't had time.
Okay, I'm not gonna like him.
Yeah.
I think Oakland Interlude does for me what SZA does for you.
That's fucking crazy.
Explain. Explain.
Listen,
For the
Cam,
audience, I'm
Cam
sure.
sent me a video
You
on
gotta listen to
Snapchat
it.
the other day of him listening to SZA with the top pulled down on the coupe, bro.
Mhm.
So
I was
that,
driving around at like 12:30 a.m.
yeah, he was really deep in his bag. It was a tough look for all
Oh.
involved.
For all involved. No, man.
So anyway, Chris Patrick's new album is fucking phenomenal. He showcases rapping and singing at a high level. Chris Patrick is going to be one of the next people to break out, like fully, I think.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Very cool. Yeah.
There is a bunch of great songs on this album. Like there's a couple songs on here that aren't as good, of course. I didn't like Fly Away as much, but the whole rest of that album is just like it's beautiful. The production is beautiful. Chris Patrick's voice is like gorgeous. I don't really know what else I need to say to convince you to listen to it, but here we are, I guess. I'm gonna put it like here.
Jesus.
I really like that album.
No, yeah, I wouldn't put it that high, but it is a very good album.
All right, next up, Flying Beagle. That's one of those classic albums that shows up in your YouTube recommended after a while. So some of you may know about that.
It's,
I'm sorry,
I don't think any of us know about
what
that.
you said.
Flying. I saw you talking about Crunchman in general. It's fine.
Yeah.
But it's a Flying Beagle by Himiko Kikuchi. It's a very cool. Yeah. No, this album is randomly really fucking good.
Yeah, this album's amazing.
This album's raw.
This is a Jake album too.
Yeah, no, I know it is. I'm putting it like there, Heike. It's very good.
Yeah, it's super good. Go
Okay.
listen to this.
So we have the next stretch of albums. I'll tell you right now. The next stretch of albums contains the album of the year, one of Val's favorite albums of all time, and two of my favorite albums of the year. So we're gonna be on this stretch for a while.
Yeah, this is gonna take a minute.
Oh,
The first one is Cheat Codes, Danger Mouse and Black Thought.
Cheat Codes was really good.
It's
It's
I'm
really
putting it like here. It's
It felt awesome to get a Doom feature in the year 2020.
it was so fucking cool. And the transition from Belize into Aquamarine was one of my favorite transitions like ever.
I actually saw a lot of people hating on this album, which I thought
Why?
was super fucking weird. People just thought it was boring. Like, I saw that on multiple occasions.
How? Black Thought is like
know.
Black Thought is one of the most interesting rappers to listen to, I think.
Yeah, Black Thought is like,
I love Streams of Thought Volume 3 was one of my favorite projects from last year
yeah,
that I listened to. I don't know if it came out last year, but I listened to it last year.
I think it was 2020, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
But no, this album's awesome. Black Thought
Yeah.
is Black Thought's one of just the most intelligent rappers,
Yeah,
ever.
he's very
and
smart.
and Danger Mouse's production on this was amazing.
All right, next up is Louis by Kenny Beats.
Very good.
This album it's really cool because first of all, Kenny made it for his dad. That's why like the samples that are on there of people talking are of him and his dad. It's pretty cool. But
Actually didn't know.
second
Very,
of all,
very cool.
it's just good music.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny did a phenomenal job with this album. It's just a beat tape, but it's great. Like
Yeah.
And Kenny, of course, he's all over everywhere these days. He's producing for everybody. He has shows with so many people.
Yeah, he's like
His Twitch is
Would you
insane.
say he's like the best active producer? Because I think I would.
Active?
I think like in terms of overall output and quality of output, he's got to be number one.
It's him or Alchemist.
Yeah.
Or if Madlib is still active, Madlib's up there too.
I don't know if I'd count Madlib as active.
That's
but...
fair. That's fair. I mean, supposedly Gunlib is dropping in 2023, but
oh shit. Okay.
That's.
I know, but regardless, Kenny Beats is like
yes.
absolute top tier producer, and
Yeah.
this album has a lot. If I remember, it has a lot of tracks on it, right?
It has a lot of tracks, but it's very short. Yeah, it's
Which
like a
is,
classic
like-
beat. It's like a classic like
Yeah.
Dilla style beat tape.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is it's very
Yeah.
reminiscent of Dilla.
Yeah.
No, this is a phenomenal project.
Mm-hmm. Moving on, our next album is Wasteland by Brent Fayez.
This album's really good.
This
Very
album
good.
is
This
Very
this
good
album. This album didn't hit me. It didn't really hit me with what was like. It didn't like I was processing what was happening, but it didn't fully hit me until the last skit into Angel,
Yeah.
and then it all hit me at once, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
No, this album is so good.
I'm pretty sure that's like one of the top 5 albums I've listened to. It's either like it's literally 5 or 6 on the albums I've listened to. This year.
Yeah,
7.
high key, I
But
put it like
it's
here. It's so good.
Really
Mhm.
good,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Val, I'm gonna let you do most of the talking on this one. We
What
have,
album is it?
It's Saint Elsewhere by Gnarls Barkley.
Oh shit. Okay.
I found my parents would like bump Crazy in the car so much, but my mom absolutely like loves Gnarls Barkley to death, and we both have like an unhealthy obsession with CeeLo Green. So the first time I like listened to Saint Elsewhere all the way through was like literally an otherworldly experience, because I've never had that much fun listening to an album.
Right? That was my
Yeah,
experience with
absolutely.
it too. It's so fucking like the whole album just makes you want to get up and start going hard. It's crazy.
It's so good.
Like, what literally makes you want to go insane, the fact that the album, and it's like it's not even just that, but it's the fact that that album is very like shifty turny, because you start with Go Go Gadget Gospel, which might be the most like insane high energy song
Is Go Go
in
Gadget
existence.
Gospel? Is that the one with the crazy
first
key
song in
change?
album.
Is it the one with the crazy key change in the chorus?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Okay. Because when I heard that, I was like, "Oh shit!" I had to like hold on to something and not fall over, bro. It was insane.
It's literally, you go from that and you go straight into Crazy, which
Yeah.
that track speaks for itself.
Yeah, Crazy
Yeah,
was
you
the
can't-
hit.
there's
Yeah.
nothing we can say about that shit.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can say about that track that probably hasn't already been said by someone else, right?
Mhm.
And then you just like the rest of the album, it's the messages are all over the place, but they're good. Some of just how the tracks sound. I love Danger Mouse. Just, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
All right.
I did not know what album you were talking about. when you
Really?
said it was
Okay.
One of my favorites.
Um,
When you
that's
said
fine.
it was one of my favorites, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with that one.
Okay, so this next one, I'm gonna preemptively put it at number 1. Cam,
Alright,
start talking.
All right, motherfuckers. The Forever Story is a perfect fucking album. I say that about maybe 5 things I've ever listened to. The Forever Story is so good. So I have been a very heavy Jid fan ever since I first heard his shit. So probably like 2 years ago, I first started listening to him. And I was saying to people, look, man, once the next Jid album hits, there's no denying he's top 10 all time. And then he blew my expectations away.
Yeah.
So, fuck, dude. He's, first of all, he's got like every single criteria you want to see from a good rapper. His wordplay is fucking nuts. Like right up there with MF Doom.
He can switch flows on a dime.
He's got the best flow of any rapper ever.
He has a great ear for beats.
Great ear for beats.
Yeah.
And then This motherfucker started singing. He started singing on this album.
Yeah, and he sounds good too. Is the crazy thing.
So good. So I'm just gonna like break this shit down piece by piece. Galaxy, just like a nice like instrumental style opener. And then Radar, Dance Now, they both hit so fucking hard.
Radar was a hard. I really like that
Yeah.
song.
Nah, that Radar was such a great way to open up the album. That shit where like the beat's fucking banging and then everything drops and he just whispers, "I got that shit you can play for the host." Like that had me fucking going crazy in my seat. Crack Sandwich is one of my favorite tracks of the year. Crack Sandwich is so fucking good.
Yeah, Cody Blue 31's really good too.
Yeah, I'm literally just going down the list because I'm gonna have something good to say about this entire album.
Yeah, you got it.
Can't Punk Me is amazing.
Yo.
One of my favorite Earth Gang tracks. Surround Sound, obviously, I don't need to say much about that. That was like one of the biggest tracks this year. Cody fucking Blue. So this album, I think he managed to stay on theme across this album so fucking well. And he really made this album this album was very personal for him. Lots of like direct storytelling about his upbringing, his family, the people he loves, the people who like put him where he is today. And I think it's very, very admirable for that, because you get Cody Blue, Brudenum, Systenem all in a row. I think Val and I have talked about this a fair bit. Brudenum's probably my least favorite track on the album. But it's cool because it obviously is there to be a partner song with Systenem, which is absolutely amazing. Very detailed, emotional telling of like watching that family connection sort of start to drift. Can't Make You Change is good. It's like, we just had to throw a fuck song on there somewhere, so that's fine.
Can't make you change is hard as shit. I love Ari Lennox.
It is so
I love
good.
Ari Lennox.
Ari Lennox was in her bag with everything she featured on this year.
Yeah.
Okay, but did you listen to her album?
I did not actually.
So you fucked up. I didn't either, but
So Can't Make You Change, and then we get into the last few tracks of the album. This boy pulled up a Yasin Bey feature in the year 2022. And that beat had the flute going. That shit had like the vocal distortion and the fucking like Come and Hang with the Stars bar, like that whole flow for like 30-40 seconds straight. Jid was absolutely in his bag on that track. And then Just in Time, probably, I would have to think about it, but maybe my single favorite track of all of 2022. I think
is that the one with Wayne?
That's the one with Wayne.
Yeah. Really,
And
I like several of the other tracks on that album more than the one with Wayne. Low-key, it's good,
that's
obviously.
Fair.
But...
The entire album's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think it was especially cool to see him go on the track with Wayne, and like that whenever you hear Wayne come in, and it's like, oh, he sounds just fucking like Jid.
Yeah.
Like the influence is so clear, and it's so cool that he was able to get Wayne on there.
I'll tell you, my top 3 off this album is it's Radar, Can't Punk Me, and the third one's like 5 songs, so I won't. It's like
yeah.
The third one's like the whole rest of the album.
I think I have a pretty defined top 3 where it's okay. My 1 and 2 is interchangeable between Crack Sandwich and Money, and then I'll say 3 is Cody Blue, and then honorable mention is 2007, and then everything else is at 5 because I can't decide from there.
Yeah, I do want to talk about 2007 real quick, because this wasn't on the original release of the album, because they had some issues with clearing the sample. I don't think I noticed that it got put onto Spotify until like a month after it happened. So I just missed that track for a very long time. Super good. I think like watching Jid like outline this sort of, and this sort of plays into some of the external parts of this album, and almost what I talked about with D-Day a little bit, where Jid has really tried to separate himself from the narrative of being like J. Cole's prodigy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think hearing him like outline that full comparison of like growing up listening to Cole and then sort of try like meeting Cole and then pushing his own way through, that's one of like the 16 incredible themes that he tackles on this album. I just think it's amazing how much he's able to weave into every single song, pushing like so many different ideas across all of these tracks. I don't know. There's endless things I could say positively about this album.
Yeah. I mean, I 100% agree with everything you've said so far. This album is very clearly the album of the year, I think, to most
Yeah,
people.
it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we all knew when we heard Jid was dropping in 2022, we all knew it was going to be something special, but we didn't expect this.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, with all that being said, it's not going to move from the number 1 spot. I'll let you know right now.
No.
But the next album is Awesome God 2 by West Side Gun. Cam, do you want to tell the people what I said to you the other day?
Yeah, so Will hits me up. Will hits me up and he's talking about he saw this tweet. And he was like, what was it? It was, I knew I was never gonna get laid again when I listened to West Side Gun, and that just sounded like a beautiful symphony.
Yeah. So anyway, that gives you my take on West Side Gun. I'm putting it right there. It's a great album. I have a DPPOU team with nicknames based after it. It's very good.
Such a fucking gun.
Yeah. What'd you
You
call
really
me?
are never getting laid. You really are never getting laid, dude. That's crazy.
We not letting you talk for the whole rest of today if that's what you want. High key.
For the whole rest of today.
Hey, fuck you.
Crazy.
Fuck
We not bringing Kumso out the cage. All right. Next
Out
up.
the game.
Hey. Next up.
Go lock me up again.
Next up. Earl Sweatshirt dropped an EP under his legal name instead of Earl Sweatshirt. I listened to it. It was Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Good music.
Wait, on God? Wait.
Yeah, you didn't know about this?
No.
Look up Hubris.
Yeah. I'm going.
Yeah, I missed this one
What is
for
it
a while too.
It's Hubris. It's under his like given name. I don't know how to pronounce it, but you know what I mean. At least is it on Spotify? I don't know if it is.
I don't think it is.
I listened to it on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I saw that it dropped earlier this year, and I was like, oh, cool.
You know, I'm pretty sure that it is not on Spotify, and I think that's why I missed it.
Yeah, but go listen to it if you haven't heard it yet. Just look on YouTube. I found it on YouTube. Anyway, it was pretty good. I'd put it solidly like here. Next up, I was very deep in my bag one night, and I listened through one of my biggest regrets of the year was listening through a Sorority Noise album. It was bad. There was one song on there that was really good, and the rest of it was not terrible. So there you go. Next up, this is where we start to talk about the good shoegaze.
Okay.
Glitter by Pasteboard is the first one.
Yes. Yeah, this album's great.
Yeah, you listened to that, you liked it. It's great. Go listen to it if you haven't. The next one that I really liked is To See the Next Part of the Dream by Paranol. Max sent me a song by them, and I listened through the whole album, and the whole album is just the same vibe. It's really like fast paced, but it's still really like shoegaze, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you know how so it's like it's fast paced, but it's like very muted. It's very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd put it solidly like, you know, a little above it. You know, probably like here probably. Then I listened to another album of them, their first album on Spotify. It was worse, so I'd put it like here probably, sadly. Next up, I'm trying to go fast because we still have so many fucking albums to
There's
go
a
through.
lot of albums to go through.
Yeah, I listened to a lot this year. Next up we have I listened to Stoneflower by Antonio Carlos Jobim this year. Did you say you're unfamiliar?
I said, yeah, I don't know shit about this.
It's Brazilian guitar music. It's a great album.
Oh, Brazilian guitar music is so fire.
Yeah, no, this album is so good. Next up, this is one we're all gonna talk about. We had Soul Sold Separately.
Okay. Well, Val just said BRB, so I'll see if we can stretch this out to when they get back.
Nah, you got it. If we can't, it's no big deal. We'll just ask them when they get back.
Yeah. So I don't think I knew that Freddie Gibbs was dropping this year until you told me that this came out.
Really?
Yeah. I just didn't know. So like if we're talking about we've been talking a lot about Griselda and how insanely consistently good they are.
Yeah.
Fred
is also up there, yeah.
There is no one who has been as on as good of a streak as Freddie Gibbs.
Since
since
Pinata.
Pinata.
Yeah.
He has put out nothing but incredible albums.
Pinata, Bandana, Alfredo, and now Soul Sold Separately. All four of them are great albums.
Yeah, they're all absolutely amazing. The big one off of this album is Feel No Pain.
Yep.
Oh my god, such a good song. I love everything off of this album though. I'm a big fan of Gibbs.
Yeah, me too.
I think this was all just like this is very classic Freddie Gibbs shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite measure up to how good Pinata and Bandana were.
I think Alfredo is the best of those four by far.
Yeah, no, I was about to say like Alfredo is still a step above those. I think this is the worst of the four albums that he put out.
Not by that much, I don't think.
Not by much. It is still very, very good.
Yeah, it's still 100% worth listening to, and it grows on me more every time I listen to it.
Yeah, like you are comparing this to some of the best albums we've heard in the past decade. So
yeah, solidly.
Me saying it's not as good is not a mark against it at all.
Alright. An interesting one next. Bucket List Project is on here next.
Okay.
I didn't get to this until earlier this semester.
Oh wow, okay, we're already there.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, over the last like 4 months, I've listened through like 80 albums.
No, I know. I just wasn't sure where we were at time-wise.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, this Bucket List is good. I heard it after I first heard Care For Me, except Photosynthesis.
Yeah,
I heard
Photosynthesis was also the first song I heard, yeah.
Yeah, because that's like his biggest track ever.
And then I heard Photosynthesis and some of the Pivot Gang shit. And then I heard, and then I listened to Care For Me off your recommendation last year, and it was one of my favorite albums ever.
Yes.
And now every time you see me listening to Busy Sirens, you message me asking what's up.
I gotta check in, you know?
Yeah, you got it. So anyway, Bucket List Project was really good. I liked it a lot. I think there's a lot of tracks on there that are very like, it's cool. I would legitimately put it like here. It's great.
Yeah.
The next one, I'm gonna have to ask you to not laugh, Cam.
Okay.
I know you're going to.
Okay.
But the next one on here is Finn. Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Finn, I need your backup on this one.
Okay.
The next one on here is a Viper album.
Oh yeah.
Why do you think I'm
Sure.
gonna laugh, man?
You think it's real shit now? You with it?
I've been with the shits, dude.
Oh, okay. So you would understand me putting that shit like. You would understand me putting that shit like here. You would understand that?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, cool.
This one, I like this one a lot.
Yeah,
this one's good.
I do too.
Yeah.
They hear him, Clark
Hear 'em,
Hustler.
Clark
That
Hustler,
album is actually great.
This is the one that I've listened to fully. So yeah.
This is a good one.
Next one is Intergalactic by Kid Cudi, which I did not like in the slightest. I thought it was incredibly unmemorable and just boring to listen to. So I did not think it was very good. Anybody else have takes on it?
Eh.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't
okay.
listen. I
Okay.
didn't listen to it.
I listened
wasn't
to
that
it
great.
just because it's Cuddy. That's the only reason.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I know I'm higher on Cuddy than Will is. And I still thought this album was bad.
Yeah. So next up, it's a 4-song EP that I found, and I don't remember how I found it, but I think I made Val listen to it. It's called Dad's Old Tapes by North Downs.
This is fucking good.
It's really good, yeah. I don't know how I found it, but I really liked it. I would put it. I don't even. Yeah, you got it. Thanks. All right, I'm unmuting my mic now. Sorry.
You're good.
Okay, no problem.
My brother came downstairs to give me a Baja Blast. So
Oh, he
Huge.
yeah,
That's big.
he going up for this one.
Good lord.
But yeah, so low key Val, that album, I think it's. I need to go back to it, but I think it's really
Very good.
It's very good, yeah.
It's the word I use, and I hate using this word, but it's vibey. I think is
Yeah.
the word I will use reluctantly. It
I
very
feel the same
much
way, yeah.
Just like it hits, and you kind of just sit down in your chair, you close your eyes, and you just like
You just listen. You
lean
just like
back.
get consumed.
You
by
just
it, yeah.
listen.
All right. Next up, new FKA Twigs.
I was hoping that we'd get to this because I don't think you and I ever talked about this album.
I didn't like it.
Oh, okay. Well, then we're gonna have some very different things to say here.
Okay. I'll let you talk about what you liked about it, but I personally was not a fan.
Yeah. So I thought this project was really fucking solid. And I'll be honest, a lot of it is very heavily carried by the Daniel Caesar track. I think that song, Careless, oh my god, it's really good. But that, the track featuring The Weeknd, Pomplamoose, and pulling up the track list so that I can remember all these. Oh yeah, I liked the opener, Ride the Dragon. So I don't know. I thought this album was pretty solid. Interesting production choices, which is kind of like what I come to expect from FKA Twigs. Always doing something that's like pretty unique to what the scene around her is doing. Never really like lured me with any bars or anything. Like that, if that's what you want, then you're not really gonna love this album.
Yeah.
But really great vocals, lots of like engaging topics, and good production is primarily what I have to say about it.
Okay. I think I might just need to listen to it again, honestly, because I remember on first listen through, I would just like very bored listening to it.
Okay.
But that's just a me thing, I guess, probably. From what I've heard, most people do actually like this album, so I'm guessing it's just me like not picking up on it the first time through. Though I will say, I remember immediately after that night, after listening to that album, I listened to a K Tronada album that had a very similar type of sound, and I liked it way more. So,
Okay.
but I'd probably still put it like around here.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not like anywhere close to my favorites, I would say. Next up is said K Tronada album.
Yep.
I like it. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna go through this quick because the next two albums are Tom Misch, and we got to get to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so all right. Fucking, it's like better, but like not by that much. Probably like here. All right. Anyway, Tom Misch, Geography first. What you got to say?
Okay. Geography. I've been on this album for a while.
Yeah.
I first listened to it like whenever I was out at college, so 2019 is when I first found it. I think Movie was the first track I heard, and then I really liked it, so I went and listened to the whole thing.
The first track I heard off Geography was It Runs Through Me.
Yeah, that one's also very, very
Yeah.
good. So, sort of to to parrot what Val said, I hate using this word, but it is vibey music as fuck. It's very much like you can just like sit here, close your eyes, and listen to this shit, and
Yeah.
it's just like, I
Works.
yeah, it's just good.
So, question. So, personally, of the two, what kind of music is the one I like more personally?
I agree, even though I only heard what kind of music this year.
Okay. What kind of music is absolutely fucking phenomenal? Like the track with Freddie Gibbs is one of my favorites ever.
Knight Rider is
It's
so fucking good.
And then Tidal Wave, the track after it, is probably my favorite solo track of his.
Tidal Wave is great. I really like Liftoff.
Yup. I like Kiev too. That's another great track.
Yes, it was good. No, both of these albums are amazing.
Yeah.
Tom Misch is super fucking good.
Yeah, Geography belongs right here, and what kind of music belongs like up here, honestly.
Yeah,
It's like right. It's above Spillage, and it's like here.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And then okay, next up is one of my favorite albums of the year, Learn to Swim by Red Veil.
Yeah, this album's amazing. I don't feel as strongly about it as you do.
Yeah. The more I listen to this album, the more I fucking love it. It's so all the tracks on this, the production is like so engaging. I don't know if Red Veil produced it or whoever produced it really knows how to use drums in production, because holy shit, that is so like stimulating to listen to. Red Veil has a great voice.
Yeah.
And it goes perfectly with the production. The sample on PG Baby it always like makes me smile.
Yeah.
The
PG Baby is one of the best tracks of the year.
The PG Baby remix too is insane.
Yup.
But yeah, I don't really know. It's just a really like feel good album for me.
Yeah, I absolutely get that.
It's It's like the other thing too is Red Veil's kind of in the same like musical sphere as like Chris Patrick. And I know both of them like really fuck with each other.
That's cool to know.
Especially,
yeah.
I know Chris Patrick fucks with Red Veil especially, and that's where I found it from.
Is that how you discovered Red Veil?
Yeah, through Chris Patrick tweeting about it. Yeah.
No, I first found out about him like back when Niagara released and Tyler the Creator co-signed it.
Okay.
Like Tyler tweeted about it and he was like, "This dude's fucking real."
Yeah. Learn to Swim was the first album of his I heard. I did listen to Niagara later in the year. But Learn to Swim is one of my favorite albums of the whole year.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
I would put it like when you get up here, you're getting into like weird territory.
Yeah, it's hard.
So I'd probably put it like here.
Okay.
I really liked it. I think it's better than everything below it. And honestly... Oh, whoops.
Oh, he's fumbling.
Honestly...
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay, next up, this is some fucking nerd shit. This is some music major shit. And that's the next album. So you can tune me out if you want. Next two, you can tune me out for. But, Snarky Puppy, I listened through We Like It Here this year.
Have we talked about Snarky Puppy?
Did we?
Have we?
I
don't remember talking about them with you, but I fucking love these guys.
So do I. I'm planning on going to see them in March when they come to Minnesota. I think type of music that the way that they've pushed the music that they make is so interesting.
Yeah, no, they've really like explored a super unique direction. I can't think of anyone who's doing what they're doing.
Oh, by the way, Larnell Lewis might be the best drummer alive right now. I'm just gonna say that.
I'm not gonna really argue with that.
Yeah.
No, whenever
I listen to Larnell and I listen to everybody else, and it's like, what the fuck? He's so insane. I don't understand how. I don't know, like, for example, Lingus, right? It's a 10-minute track.
Yeah.
He somehow manages, if you just listen to the drum track, you would be interested for all 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane to me. I don't know. It's so crazy.
Yeah. No, Snarky Puppy's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Whenever I went to I went to Penn State for Halloween with my boys.
Yeah.
And on the ride back in the morning, we just bumped, like, literally just shuffled Snarky Puppy on Spotify and listened to all of their shit. It was so great.
Yeah, no, that album was one of my favorites. One of my favorite non-hip-hop albums of the year. Which unfortunately puts it below like 20 albums, but
Yeah.
I would put it here. I think that's
Let
good.
me see.
I did like it. I liked it more than
That's
Drake.
solid, yeah.
I liked it more than Drake.
On your fucking sentence. This album was really good, dude. I liked it more than Drake.
No, but okay, next up, did I ever put, I don't think did I put Honestly Nevermind on here? Because I listened through that with Josh.
Oh, fucking dude. Let's just
Josh,
not even talk about
Josh,
it, okay?
if you're here, let's talk about that night for one moment.
I'll talk about that night too, because y'all tried to drag me into this shit.
Yeah. That.
It was like 3 a.m. and I'm laying in bed trying to go to sleep, and I get a fucking call from Will.
I'm like, dude, no, get in. We're about to listen to Drake.
This dude was yelling at me about, let's go listen to Honestly Nevermind, and I wanted to throw my fucking phone at the wall.
Yeah, no.
That's huge. What do
Me
you
and-
mean?
It was huge. I'm glad you agree.
I did listen through this with one of my IRL friends at one point.
It's not good.
And
It's
yeah,
not
no, I
good.
know. It's not good. We were sitting there making fun of it the whole time. We called it fucking Aeropostale music.
It's just a joke. It's just a joke.
Aeropostale music is insane.
All
All right. Let's get through this next one kind of quick. The next one is I listened through Way Out West by Sonny Rollins earlier this year. It's pretty cool. It's a tenor saxophone, drums, bass trio, so no piano, guitar, anything like that. It's a very different kind of feel, but Sonny Rollins is Sonny Rollins, so that's all you gotta know. Next up, so this next part is the beginning of my Smino phase. This was like when we booked the
There we
tickets,
go.
and I knew
There
I
we
had
go.
to. This is when we booked the tickets to Jid and Smino, and I had to listen to all of Smino's shit.
Yep.
So this is Noir. That was the first album of his I listened to. Noir is so good.
Smino doesn't have a bad album. This guy's
No,
amazing.
there's no bad album. Noir, Black Swan, Noir, and Love for Rent. All three of them are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if we start with Noir, I'd say it's my least favorite of his albums, honestly.
Really,
Yeah.
the gap can't
It's-
be
it's-
that big then.
It's not. It's fucking
Okay.
like tiny.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
But no, I think that this album has some really incredible individual tracks. And when you get albums as good as this guy is putting out, my metric for measuring which one I prefer is often going to be like looking at the album as a single unit,
Yeah.
like I talked about earlier.
Mhm.
And I think Noir kind of falls short on that.
That being said, Noir has some of my favorite tracks by
No,
him.
dude, fucking Tequila Mockingbird, Somersault, Z4L, Merlot.
Those four, I
Um,
really the beat on Clink is so good too.
Yeah, Clink.
Let me pull this up again.
The track with Raven Lene.
Yup. Which one's that one? The track with it's MF Groove. It's that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but the whole album is like it's a Smino album. There's no missing
Mhm.
here. But yeah. So Noir. It's very, 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 very solid. I'd put it solidly in the second, like the lower half of top tier.
Mhm.
Probably like here.
Okay. I feel like Whole Lotta Red has been a gatekeeper for this entire process.
Whole Lot of Red has been. You know how much I love Whole Lot of Red.
I know how we feel about Whole Lotta Red.
Okay, so next up, we're gonna go through a little bit of a Pharoah Sanders thing here. Pharoah Sanders,
Okay.
for those who don't know, is a tenor saxophone player. Can you guess what instrument I play? He's a tenor saxophone player. Who
Do you
fuses.
play
No, it's not gonna be funny.
I
It's
play
not gonna
the-
be funny.
Yeah, no, I play the bagpipes. You know me.
Oh, the accordion. I get you. I
Hey.
get
No MF Doom.
you. Shut the fuck up.
No, I like you said bagpipes and Mr. Scottish motherfucker over here pipes.
Did you just say that's me?
He said that's heat.
That's crazy. He's so excited, bro. No, but I listened through live at the East, and Healing Song is 20 minutes. It's a classic, like 20 minutes of what the fuck is happening in a jazz combo, but it's some of the actual best like zoning out music I've ever had. Like it's so like relaxing. I sent this album to who did I send this to? I know I sent it to Jester.
You sent this to me, and I think I listened to it.
I sent it to Jester. I sent it to you. Actually, I don't think I sent it to Jester. I just told him to listen to it. But I like texted him at his phone number instead of DMing him on Discord, which was funny. And then I think I sent it to somebody else too, but I don't remember who. So that's cool. But yeah, Live at the East, very good album. I'd put it like here. All right. Next up, this like if the Forever Story wasn't released, this would probably be my favorite thing I listened to this year. But I sent you Promises, right? It's Pharoah Sanders, Floating Points, and the London Symphony Orchestra.
Yes, you sent me this.
Did you like it?
It was very, very good.
It's so cool, right? It's so fucking cool. Yeah, Jester just sent me a screenshot. Yep. Jester, I sent that to you from my car, by the way. I was sitting at a stoplight listening to it, and I was like, I need to tell somebody. So there you go.
Wait, how long has Jester been in here? What the fuck?
Like 3 minutes. Not even.
He snuck in.
If you see something, say something.
I don't know why I don't hear the notifications when people don't.
I didn't hear it
anymore.
either.
Yeah, I heard it, so I was like, yeah, he's here. But anyway, yeah. It's some real music major shit. But oh my fucking god, this is one of the absolute coolest things I've ever heard, bar none. Yeah, he hates me. Alright, that's fine. I would put it here. It's so good.
Yeah, it's very, very, very good.
So, the whole concept of it is they take like there's like one riff that's constant throughout the whole thing that keeps repeating. And it just keeps getting like added to and improvised on more and more. And the peak of it, and like I think it's movement 6, the very peak of it is like is really powerful. It's really, I heard it just after, I heard it when I was on the way to
You were texting me as you were listening to it the first time, I remember.
Yeah, I was on the way to my grandma's house. I remember.
Yeah, I think so.
We were going down for. I think that was the day of the visitation. I think that's what it was. Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, next up, I listened to WWCD by Griselda.
Yep.
That's a great project. I think my favorite track off it is probably City on the Map.
Yeah, that track's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's that and Dr. Birds, I think, are my two favorites. I would put it solidly in like high tier, like here. Next up, have I talked to you about Ichika Nito? Have I talked to you about that?
I don't think.
Guitar player. Very very
This is-
cool.
Wait,
like guitar.
Cam doesn't know.
Cam doesn't know. Wait, so you know, but Cam doesn't.
I know. Yes,
Yeah. Okay, so you know about the goat.
I do. I'm aware.
I was gonna say this is some Val-ass music. So, but yeah, you need to go listen to some. Go put some on right now.
Hold on.
I'll put it on after
I
you
got
delete
you.
this.
I got you.
Yeah, Val got you.
I'm gonna link something.
Okay.
It's huge.
But yeah, I listened through Nito, the EP, and another EP much later in the year too. One of the last things I listened to this year. But yeah, that was really good. It's very, very impressive. It's a very different type of music from like everything else on the list, but it's very impressive. Anyway, next up, I got this recommendation from somebody on Twitter. I listened through Sound of Silver by LCD Sound System.
Oh shit. Okay.
So you know, wait, what did you say? Oh shit to the music or to what I just said?
To what you just said, I didn't know you were on LCD Sound System.
That album is really good. I like that a lot.
Very good. Yeah.
What's the name of the ending track on that one? It's New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down. Like that one. That track is probably my favorite off that album.
Oh, that's just the title.
Oh, is it? Okay.
The part you just sang. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but for real, I'd put it like right here. And on second thought, I'd probably do, and then I'd probably swap these two. Cool. All right. Next up, The Dynasty by Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, we getting into your Jay-Z phase?
Yep. Well, actually, right after this, we have 3 albums that Finn really likes. So we'll have him talk for a little bit after this. But
That's interesting.
The Dynasty by Jay-Z. It has my favorite Jay-Z track, but as a whole, it's just worse than the Black Album. So that's tough. And also Reasonable Doubt, I think. But it's still good, obviously. Did I put Reasonable Doubt on here? Cause I listened to Reasonable Doubt.
Is it This Can't Be Life?
It's This Can't Be Life, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, I didn't put Reasonable Doubt on here.
Do that shit?
Yeah. I did listen to Reasonable Doubt, but it's not on here, so I'm gonna put it on here. The Dynasty belongs like right here. Reasonable Doubt should be like right here. And the Black Album, we'll get to it when we get to it. It's on here. All right, next up, Finn. We have 2 Zappa albums.
Oh, hell yeah.
We have,
shit, okay. I can actually talk about
we
this.
have Apostrophe and Hot Rats. Those are the 2 that I listen to at this time of the year.
Nice.
And there's another one coming up in a few after this too. But those two are I really liked Apostrophe. I thought it's very like, I don't know how to say it other than it's very Frank Zappa.
Yeah.
There's no way to say it besides that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's great. It's got a very unique. It's got like a weird uncle kind of energy, you know?
Yeah, I think if you like Zappa, that's an album that you'll love.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you won't like any of his album.
Yeah. But yeah, I was a fan personally. I thought it was very good. Hot Rats as well, I thought was also very good. It's a super different sound, which I thought was interesting. All 3 of the albums of his that I've listened to have had completely different sounds.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But I put Apostrophe probably like right here. And then Hot Rats just a little below that, like here. All right, next up, Perfect From Now On by Built to Spill. This was this was a Finn recommendation as well. I liked it. I don't really remember that much about it, so I should probably go back and listen again, but I remember thinking it was good in the moment. So, I'll probably put it like but it's very like, if you listen to this, like this is the exact kind of album I think of when I think of something Finn likes, like this is what I think of.
Yeah.
You know? I'll put it
I think
like,
that's fair.
I put it maybe a little lower than that actually. Like just above the second Boldy album, yeah. All right, next up. This is a big one for me. This is Taboo by Denzel Curry.
Will, you didn't listen to Taboo until this year?
I listened through like parts of it, but I never fully listened through it until this year. I'd heard songs off it, of course, but like I never fully listened through it until this year.
It's like me and To Pimp a Butterfly. Like this year was the first year.
You just admitted that, by the way. I want you to know that.
You did just admit that on mic.
It's alright. I take no shame because I did it. I listened to it.
Yeah,
you know what? I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I was like, I got there, because it would be worse if I didn't admit it, and I just was like, yep, I listened to Pimp a Butterfly the first time all the way through.
Anyway, all I'm gonna say is Taboo belongs like here, or maybe actually Taboo belongs higher. Taboo is like
Taboo belongs way higher.
Taboo is here, I think. or maybe even
Taboo
in the
is
tier
a
above.
fucking amazing album.
The song
for
fucking
me, I'd put it
Sirens.
way in the tier above.
The song fucking actually, I think you might be right. Hold on, I might put
I
it like
love this
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the song Sirens with Jid. That song is great. I went on a Denzel deep dive this day, it appears, because I also listened to 13, the EP.
Oh,
Which
okay.
I thought was like okay. It's definitely like it's Denzel, but I even like the fuck was the name of his first album, Imperial?
Yeah, Imperial.
Yeah, I like this
Did
came
you
out
listen to
before
Imperial
then.
this year?
Yeah, I listened to Imperial last
Oh.
year.
Ah.
Imperial's great. I love Imperial.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd put that one like here. It's like pretty good, but like yeah. Anyway, next up we have Joe's Garage by Frank Zappa.
Oh, this one.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. So I'll say this. Joe's Garage has like by far my favorite Zappa song, and it's like not very close. Finn, you probably know which one it is.
It's one of the ones at the end, I imagine.
It's Watermelon and Easter Hay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that song it's phenomenal. It's so like
I forgot which one it was called, but I knew it was like right at the end. It's like the second
Yeah.
last song, isn't it? Yeah.
It's the one with the it's the one with the big guitar solo on it. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. I know exactly what I know, and I know exactly why it's your favorite, and I agree.
Yeah, because but yeah, it's that album belongs like in this kind of range, I think, around where Apostrophe is. Like here, I think. Maybe I'll flip them. I don't know. Pretty interchangeable. Next up, I listened through a Burna Boy album because my friend Gus wanted me to, and it was like like okay. I'd put it like down here probably.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Anyway, next up, this is the big one. This is a huge one, Cam. This one, Love
Is it?
for Rent.
Oh, we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. So remember when we said Forever Story was the best album of the year? This is the second best album of the year.
Yes. Yes.
And we got to see both of them on tour, which is fucked
yes,
up.
we get to see both of them in the same room with an opener probably.
Probably, yeah.
Holy
No,
shit. That's going to be
Love
so
for
raw.
Rent is it's one of the most bumpable albums ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
mm-hmm.
that's the main thing I'd say to describe it. This, just like I said with Denzel's album, this was on loop for me for weeks after it came out.
Yeah, me too.
The
first time I remember the first time No L's hit, I was like, "Yo, okay, we're going to space now."
What were the singles that came out before this? Obviously
90 Proof and Matinee were the two.
Yeah, okay. 90 Proof and Matinee.
Yeah,
both amazing.
90 Proof is one of my favorite tracks of the year.
Yeah, in terms of just singles, 90 Proof is way up there.
Did you see what Val pinged you with, by the way? Listen to this.
Yeah, I know, I will.
Cool. But yeah, 90 Proof is one of my favorite tracks of the year.
My favorite off of this album is Mode in a Minute.
Yeah, that's a great pick. It's like top 3 for me for sure.
Mm-hmm. I like Mode in a Minute. I like Garden Lady, and probably Noel's.
Yeah,
would be my top 3.
Mine are, for me, I think it's 90 Proof, Mode in a Minute, and Noel's for me.
Yeah. Matinee and 90 Proof are both the rest of the top 5.
Yeah, well, it's just because I think J. Cole has a great feature on that song.
He does, yes.
Yeah. But anyway, that's very clearly the second best album of the year, I would say, for me anyway.
Yeah.
There's one more, I think. Is there? There's there's one more not from this year that might compete, or two more from not from this year that might compete with it for me, just because I listened to them this year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's pretty comfortably second for right now. Next up, Things Fall Apart by The Roots. Another great album.
Oh, shit. Yeah, very good album.
Yeah, I recommended this to Holla, fun fact, and he really liked it.
Nice.
So yeah, no, it's this album, Dynamite off this album is fucking phenomenal. I'm a huge I am like very big in the the Soulquarian kind of movement. That's like my shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like Tribe is like my shit. So it's very solid. It's very solid. Next up I listened to this year, Val, you're going to be kind of surprised by this, I think, but I did not get through Beneath the Toxic Jungle by Rav until this year. I listened to half of it 2 years ago and then never finished it. And so I just went through and finished it this year. It's pretty good.
Fair enough.
Did you know he's supposedly dropping again soon, by the way?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure. Well, it's because I don't think anybody in that group. I think Rav may have dropped this year, but X Society dropped, which is their kind of group thing. It's Kill Bill, Rav.
Yeah.
Aerospace, and the fourth guy whose name I cannot remember. But they dropped, and I've been meaning to listen to that, but I haven't.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Cam. I listened to Zoo this year too.
Okay. Yeah.
It's good. It's Denzel Curry. You know, it's good.
Yeah.
It's below. It's not as good as his other stuff though. I don't think. I didn't like it as much as Taboo or Melt My Eyes or even Unlocked or Imperial.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably my least favorite album of his, but it's still very good.
I would say that's fair. Yeah, the real thing that stands. I mean, the standout from this album is Ricky.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's it's good. But
Yeah,
he's done much better since then,
Yeah.
and before then even.
All right. Next up, we got 10 by West Side Gun. Another great album, by the way.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. West Side Gun hasn't missed in a minute.
Nope.
Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break. I'm just gonna pause the recording because I gotta go eat dinner. But I'll be back soon.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna rank 10 first. 10 goes
I should probably eat dinner as well.
Yeah. So we'll say come back here in 20 minutes.
Yeah, we'll get a quick team break.
All right, you got it. All right. 3, 2, 1.
2, 1, break.
Break.